예, 쌤, 깎아.
이 코코보호요.
치킨ライスうまそう。ユニクロあるし。こんにちは。
sammeln wir sie. Ja, like, what did Jesus said, your life at all? What did Jesus said? Your life. The Lord
Here to get the Incredible Museum entry. Audio guides are guided walking tour. Select a cup.